You want to stop a bully? Make him regret ever crossing your path. Then listen carefully. This is not a guide for the weak. This is war in silence. You do not need noise, you need presence. You do not fight chaos with more chaos. You control the field with your eyes, your walk, your silence, your rules. And if you do it right, you will never need to raise your voice, because the fear will speak for you. In this video, I will give you 7 brutal rules, forged in fire, sharpened by the wisdom of Stoics and the cold logic of those who never lose. Use them, not just to stop a bully, but to break his confidence without touching him. And if you find value in this silent power, subscribe to Stoic Legacy. It is free, but it helps us grow and reach more people who need this. Now pay attention, and remember, the man who controls his emotions, controls the outcome. Rule number 1. Master the eyes. A bully thrives on reactions. He feeds off fear, off discomfort, off the flinch in your eyes when he walks toward you. So you must give him nothing. The eyes are the first place where wars are won. If you cannot hold a man's gaze, you will never hold your ground. When you look down, you signal surrender. When your eyes dart around, you show weakness. But when you lock eyes, calm, steady, unreadable, you strip him of the fuel he runs on. I learned this the hard way. The moment you hold your gaze, not in anger, not in fear, but in silence, something inside him begins to crack. He starts to question if you're the same prey he thought you were. Bullies operate like wolves. They test the herd. They circle, push, threaten, and wait to see who breaks. When you don't break, when your eyes stay fixed and your breath stays calm, you're no longer prey. You become a problem. And problems make them uncomfortable. This is not about staring with aggression or puffing your chest. That is theater, and theater is weak. This is about stillness. Controlled stillness. The kind that says, I see you. I am not afraid of you. And I will not play your game. You must train this. In the mirror, in conversation, in confrontation. Let your eyes speak louder than your words. No emotion, no blinking, just pure grounded presence. When a man sees that in your face, he hesitates. He recalculates. Because bullies look for easy wins, not battles with someone who looks like they've already survived a few. If you want to stop a bully so he regrets it, you begin here. With your gaze. With the message that says, I am not moving. Because once your eyes stop trembling, the rest of your world follows. Confidence builds, posture changes, and your energy begins to shift. And when your energy shifts, so does the outcome. There is no screaming in this war. No wild threats. Just silence, steel, and the stare that tells him he picked the wrong man. Rule number 2. Fix your body language. A bully does not listen to your words. He watches your posture. He scans your shoulders, your spine, your chin. He reads the language your body speaks before your mouth ever opens. Weak men try to defend themselves with noise. Strong men speak through presence. You want to stop a bully? Start with your frame. Stand like you belong. Walk like you own the ground beneath your feet. Shoulders back. Chest relaxed. Head held still and high. Not arrogant. Not theatrical. Just unshakable. When you slouch, fidget, or shrink, you tell the world you doubt yourself. And the moment you show doubt, predators move in. They smell it. They test you. They push you further. I have seen it in schools, streets, boardrooms. The quiet kid who stands tall is rarely the one they mess with. Why? Because posture does not lie. When your body broadcasts calm confidence, the world adjusts around you. Your silence becomes louder than threats. Your stillness becomes intimidating. Not because you're aggressive, but because you look like a man who has nothing to prove and everything under control. Fixing your body language is not about pretending to be someone you're not. It's about remembering who you were before the world made you forget. It's about returning to that primal strength inside you. The one that doesn't beg for respect, but commands it. And the best part? It's simple. You do not need a gym. You do not need training. You need awareness. Next time you walk into a room, check yourself. Are your shoulders hunched? Are your eyes darting around? Is your spine collapsing under invisible weight? Straighten it. Ground your feet. Loosen your jaw. Slow your movements. And breathe. Deep and slow. Because breathing tells your nervous system that you are safe. And when your system believes you're safe, your presence reflects it. Bullies avoid calm power. It confuses them. It makes them rethink their next move. They were expecting a victim, not a statue. A man who doesn't flinch is dangerous. A man who doesn't fumble is unpredictable. And unpredictability is something no bully wants to face. So train your body to be unreadable. Let your walk, your stance, your silence do all the talking. Because when your body says you will not be moved, no one dares to push. Rule number 3. Rewire your mindset. You were not born afraid. Fear was taught. It was conditioned into you through humiliation, rejection, punishment. A bully thrives on that programming. He knows you hesitate. He knows you overthink. He knows you carry doubt like a shadow. And that is exactly what he uses against you. So if you want him to regret ever targeting you, you have to rebuild what the world broke. Rewire your mindset. Start seeing every confrontation not as danger but as training. Every insult is data. Every shove is feedback. Every test is an opportunity to sharpen your edge. Bullies win when you play defense. When you start asking questions like, "Why me?" or "What did I do wrong?" you've already submitted. The better question is, what does this moment demand from me? And the answer is always the same. Strength. Composure. Presence. Stop identifying as the victim. You are not weak. You are not small. You are untrained. That's different. Training can change everything. Start small. Breathe slower when your heart races. Speak less when your voice trembles. Hold eye contact just 1 second longer when you feel the urge to look away. These micro-wins begin to rewire your response. Your brain begins to understand that pressure is not a threat. It's a forge. You do not run from the heat. You walk into it and emerge sharper. That's how men are built. You stop asking for fairness. You stop seeking safety. You stop chasing peace from others. You make peace with yourself. A bully cannot control a man who controls his own mind. The moment you stop fearing his words, he loses all power. The moment you stop reacting, you become unreadable. And in that silence, you hold the upper hand. So rewire your thoughts. Stop saying, "I hope he leaves me alone." Start saying, "Let him try." Not as a threat, but as acceptance. As readiness. That readiness changes your aura. It changes how you stand, how you walk, how you speak. And one day, without effort, without fight, the bully will look at you and walk away. Because he will feel it. You are not the same man anymore. You are not scared. You are not hiding. You are ready. Rule number 4. Master your emotions. A bully does not need to hit you to beat you. All he needs is a reaction. Anger, fear, embarrassment, anxiety, even a twitch in your eyebrow or the drop of your gaze, these are the victories he collects. Your emotions are his map. He studies them, memorizes them, uses them like keys to unlock your weakness. That is why the true battle is not outside. It is within. You must master your emotions until they become unreadable. Think of a vault. Cold. Impenetrable. Silent. That is who you must become when challenged. I am not saying to feel nothing. I am saying to control everything. When he mocks you, smile. Not to please, but to confuse. When he threatens you, stare back. Not with rage, but with stillness. Stillness is power. The man who does not flinch holds the advantage. It is not about being numb. It is about being disciplined. A trained dog barks at every noise. A lion watches in silence until it strikes. That is the difference. When I was young, I used to react. I'd shout back. I'd get red in the face. I thought it showed strength. It showed weakness. Real strength is measured in restraint. The ability to sit with discomfort and still make decisions. When you act from emotion, you play into his game. You become predictable, chaotic, easy to provoke. But when your face shows nothing, your breath remains calm, and your body language stays centered, he loses his grip. He starts to question himself. He starts to feel watched. He starts to feel small. Because power without response is like shouting into the void. And there is nothing more frustrating than being ignored by the one you want to control. So master your emotions like a soldier sharpens his blade. Cold when necessary. Calm always. You are not here to prove anything to anyone. You are here to dominate your own inner chaos. And when you do that, the world becomes quiet. The bullies vanish. Because they realize, finally, that they cannot touch a man who no longer reacts. Rule number 5. Build silent alliances. In every environment, whether school, work, or the street, power often comes from who stands beside you when things turn dark. A bully thrives when you are isolated. When no one speaks for you. When you walk alone. That is when his voice gets louder. His grip tighter. His arrogance sharper. But the moment you are no longer alone, something shifts. Bullies are cowards dressed in confidence. And confidence collapses when eyes start watching. When whispers turn into warning. When the person they aim to humiliate is surrounded by quiet strength. That is why you must build silent alliances. Not noisy friendships that crumble under pressure. Not weak bonds forged in gossip. But true, silent alliances made of mutual respect. People who may never say a word out loud but will always stand with you when it counts. I have seen this power. A man once targeted for weeks suddenly walked into the room and sat beside someone respected. No words were said. No threats were made. But everything changed. The bully did not approach again. Because even the illusion of protection creates hesitation. And hesitation is death to a predator. You do not have to form a gang. You do not need to beg for help. What you need is to observe, to listen, to understand who carries weight in your environment. Treat them with respect. Offer value without asking for favor. Be consistent. Be loyal. And over time, you become part of something unspoken but powerful. A network of people who do not shout but see everything. Who do not fight unless forced, but when they do, the room goes quiet. This is not manipulation. It is strategy. It is how empires are formed. You are not a lone wolf. You are part of a structure, even if you do not see it yet. Find the pillars. Respect them. Protect them when needed. And when your time comes, they will do the same. Bullies fear backlash. They fear consequences. They fear the unknown. And when they see you are not alone, when they cannot predict who might step in, their courage fades. So do not isolate yourself. Build. Connect. Protect your circle in silence. Because when the time comes, your silent alliances will speak louder than any threat. Rule number 6. Sharpen your skills in silence. The most dangerous man in any room is not the one who talks the loudest. It is the one who listens. The one who watches. The one who moves like a ghost but strikes like a storm. When a bully thinks you are weak, let him. When he laughs, ignore it. When he mocks, smile. Say nothing. Because while he is busy entertaining the crowd, your silence becomes your blade. You are training. You are learning. You are becoming someone he will regret crossing. But you never advertise your power. Real strength is invisible until it is needed. And by then, it is too late. Bullies rely on predictability. They feed on patterns. When they think they know you, they feel invincible. But when you sharpen your skills in silence, when you train your body and mind behind closed doors, you become unreadable. You become a riddle they cannot solve. Maybe it is martial arts. Maybe it is strategy. Maybe it is building your mind so strong that no insult can pierce it. Whatever your weapon is, you master it alone. No announcements. No declarations. Just discipline. That is what separates men from boys. I have seen quiet men destroy giants. I have seen those laughed at in daylight become legends in darkness. Because they trained when no one was watching. They studied when others slept. And when the moment came, they did not hesitate. They did not flinch. They executed. That is what you must become. Do not argue. Do not chase revenge. Become undeniable. Bullies vanish when they realize you are not who they thought you were. When your silence turns into power. When your patience turns into precision. You are not here to play their game. You are here to end it. So keep sharpening. In silence. In darkness. In solitude. Because when the world finally sees what you have become, it will be too late for anyone to stop you. Rule number 7. Master the power of silence. There is something terrifying about a person who chooses not to speak. In a world obsessed with noise, with comebacks, with dominance through volume, silence is a weapon only the powerful know how to use. Bullies thrive on your reaction. They want to see you flinch, stutter, argue, lose control. But when you give them nothing, when you hold their gaze and say not a single word, something breaks in their mind. They no longer know who you are or what you are thinking. And that uncertainty, that void, becomes their fear. I have seen it work. I have stood there, not blinking, not shaking, just staring. And the bully, who thought he had all the power, began to shrink under the weight of his own insecurity. Silence is not weakness. It is poise. It is control. It is you saying, without saying, that you are not afraid. That you do not need to explain yourself. That you are above the nonsense. Most people speak to be understood. But powerful men remain silent to be underestimated. They gather information. They watch. They let the other person reveal all their cards. And when the time comes to act, they strike with precision, not emotion. If a bully cannot read your face, cannot hear your thoughts, cannot predict your next move, he loses his grip. He starts to doubt himself. And that doubt is the beginning of his downfall. You must learn to let your silence speak. Let it say everything your words cannot. Let it make them question their strength, their image, their hold on others. And let that quiet confidence drive them insane. Because the man who can stay calm in the storm is always the most dangerous. And when your silence is backed by presence, by eye contact, by stillness, it becomes deafening. It becomes unforgettable. So next time someone tries to belittle you, to provoke you, to drag you into their chaos, do not rise. Do not speak. Just watch. Let your silence become the mirror in which they see themselves clearly. And let them regret ever thinking you were weak. You do not need to shout to be powerful. You do not need to fight to prove your strength. Real power is calm. Real power is silent. It is in the way you carry yourself, in the way you look a man in the eyes and say nothing, because you know you are in control. If this video gave you even one moment of clarity, one shift in how you see yourself or the world, then do something small that helps this message travel. Subscribe to Stoic Legacy. Like this video. Share it with someone who is learning to stand tall. We are building more than a channel. We are building a brotherhood of men who choose restraint over rage, purpose over pride, silence over noise. The bully does not fear your fists. He fears your discipline. He fears the man who does not flinch. And that man is you. Stay stoic and build your stoic legacy.